out. I mean, he basically indicated that in the offseason, and then you take into account he's booing the fan. The love affair is over. There should be an extreme level of appreciation for the greatness that he's put on display and the fact that he delivered the championship to the franchise when they beat the Phoenix Suns a few years back. We understand that. But they've been to the postseason. I mean, they've lost 9 of their last 10 postseason series. They've done close to nothing. And when you look at the roster that's evolved around him, that is not a championship roster. And for him to be as great as he is, giving you 28 and 12 a night, shooting 65% from the field, a career high 39% from three-point range. For him to be on a team this mediocre, you have to make a move. And if you're the Bucks, you got to be smart. You got to be willing to move him. Because guess what? You got to get equitable compensation for him. You can't keep him around and all you're doing is losing and going home in the first round, if you even make the damn playoffs. So it's a wise decision for them to want him to want to move on from him. It's definitely wise for him to move on. Now you got to look at the teams. It's a Houston. It's an OKC because of the assets they have available. It's a Miami who really, really wants him. It's a New York Knicks who supposedly is where he wants to go, but they don't have the necessary assets to get him. So the only way he can end up in New York is if he demands to be a Knick, which I'm not sure he'll do. All of those things come into play, doggy, but in the end, the bottom line is one of the top 5 players on the planet is looking to move on, and it's official now because Shams is reporting it. And damn it, it's about time. As far as I'm concerned, it took him too damn long. He should have been this outspoken about it
I hate
from the summertime.
Yeah, I hate it, Steve. I mean, listen, I understand Giannis. He won a championship. He scores 50 points in the Game 6 against Phoenix, and he can do anything he wants. I understand that, but I hate it. I mean, and not only that, I'll say the other thing. Be careful what you wish for. The NBA is littered. Harden, Kawhi Leonard, it's Kyrie Irving. It's littered with players who, Paul George, guys who want to go somewhere else because they can't win where they are, and they end up in a bad situation. I mean, so there's no Durant, who has wanted to go everywhere outside of he wanted to go to the Nets, he wanted to go to Phoenix, he wanted to go to Houston. It's littered with teams or players who decide they want to be somewhere else for greener pastures. Lillard's another one. He goes to Milwaukee, gets hurt. That doesn't work out. So be careful what you wish for. And I know everybody in New York is going to say Knicks. If you're Milwaukee, you can't trade him to the Knicks. Why, for Karl Anthony Towns? There's no way you'd make that trade. If you're the Bucks, you got to trade him to a team that is going to help you build for the future. You are not winning a championship with the players that the team is going to give you for Giannis on their existing roster. You got to do this for draft picks, a lot of draft picks, and a young superstar, a la Oklahoma City getting SGA in the Leonard trade. Or in the Paul George trade, I apologize. That's the sort of move you have to make if you're Milwaukee. To trade Giannis to get 4 or 5 veterans so you can win 42 games is a disaster. If you're going to trade him, rebuild it the way Presti rebuilt it in Oklahoma City. Get picks, young players, and build 5 years from now for a better day. But I don't like it, Steve. And I understand Giannis has every right. To me, a player who says, I want to go somewhere else, I don't know. Leaving that great market who's won championships, I have to admit I don't particularly
By the way, a couple of things.
Myself.
Number one, I meant 1-9 in their last 10 postseason games. That's what happens with Giannis. That's number one. Let me get that out of the way, even though they only won 1 playoff series in the last few years. Number 2, let me say this. Doggy, you may not like it, but I don't have a problem with it at all, even if he doesn't end up with my Knicks. And, of course, you're right. You got to get draft picks or whatever. But remember, the Phoenix Suns moved Kevin Durant to Houston, and they had a boatload of second-round picks to get from Houston, along with the likes of Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, that kind of thing. But this is what I would like you to remember about Giannis. This is not somebody that's chasing a championship. He already captured one. This is about a championship, career, essentially. He wins a championship. They're competing for championships for the most part, and then all of a sudden they've nosedived over the last few years, and the situation has become untenable. So it's an entirely different situation. If he had never won anything, Doggy, and he was chasing championships because he had never captured one before, that would be totally different. But there's nothing wrong with you spending a decade in a particular city where you've been one of the top 5 players on the planet and you've delivered the championship, and you just deciding a few years later it's time to move on.
So the Bucks currently are 3-12 without Giannis. Hard to move forward like that. Let's bring in Shams Charania, who just reported this news to us. So it sounds like, Shams, and maybe you could clarify for us, that the Bucks are more interested now than they have ever been in trading Giannis Antetokounmpo. What more can you add?
Guys, this has been the culmination of 9 months of conversations. You think about the back and forth that Giannis, his agent Alex Saratzis, and the Bucks have had since May at the draft combine when he's been exploring what his best fit is. Because like Stephen A. just said, he has made it clear publicly, privately, he wants to compete for a second championship. And so he was able to recommit to this team. Bucks ownership, John Horst, Doc Rivers, they sold Giannis Antetokounmpo this season on winning at a high level, trying to compete for a championship in the Eastern Conference. That obviously right now hasn't happened. This is a Bucks team that is now 12th in the Eastern Conference. They're 9 games under 500. They've obviously nosedived over the last several weeks, and they're positioning for a lottery spot this second half of this NBA season. And so Giannis Antetokounmpo is looking around now, and he has made it clear to them in private conversations, as much as he loves Milwaukee, loves the organization, loves the franchise, he is ready to move to a new team potentially at the deadline or in the offseason. And the Bucks as well have had to reevaluate where they're at, what their direction is moving forward. And so I'm told there's already been several aggressive offers made to the Bucks. You have offers with former All-Star players, with multiple draft picks. That's all stuff that the Bucks are sifting through this week and next week. But over the next now we're 8 days away from the trade deadline. The Bucks have started listening to offers, engaging to an extent. They made it clear to teams what their threshold is as far as blue chip young talent and draft compensation. But this is 9 months in the making, several years in the making for Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee.
We only got a minute left, so real quick, how much has the 4 calf injuries in the last 19 months, how much of a role is that playing with Milwaukee being more receptive to Giannis talks right now?
I think it's something that everyone is aware of, right? 4 calf strains in the last 19 months. But I'm telling you right now, Stephen A., that has not stopped teams from making a ton of aggressive offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the Bucks also coming to the realization gradually, slowly, that they're a team that just simply doesn't have the flexibility, the upward mobility with their roster. They've got depleted assets because John Horst, the general manager, he's gone in year after year. In 2020, got Drew Holiday. 2023, got Dame Lillard. Last season, waived and stretched Dame Lillard to go get Miles Turner. They've doubled down, doubled down, doubled down. Now they have literally exhausted their threshold, their pool of assets they have. And so that has made it more tenable to the point where the Bucks are in a position where they have to be open-minded and listening if the right offer comes together for Giannis Antetokounmpo, whether that's right now, before the deadline, or if they kick it down to the offseason.
Okay. Shams, we appreciate it. Trade deadline is February 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, this will be the major story surrounding that. I'm sure we will talk to you more about it. Thank you, Shams. Coming up on First Take, are we fired up about the breaking news we had earlier today? The Browns hiring Todd Monken as their